Say good morning. Yeah. How is everybody? Yeah. Well, the good news is she used the litter box that was in there. She went pee-pee in it. And she ate all her wet food and a lot of the dry food. So she must have been really hungry because that was full of dry food. And she did make a mess. Well, some of the dry food looks like it spilled out. But we'll get that cleaned up in just a little bit. I'm gonna scoop out the litter box and put it back in there and give her time to eat her breakfast before I start cleaning things up. Okay, we've made a bit of progress this morning. Well, it's noon, but I came in earlier and she had eaten all her food, so I went to get her some more. And when I came back in, she was still doing the thing where she sits up and lets them nurse like up under her. She doesn't lay down like if I'm in here. And so what I did, I kind of got the idea yesterday when we kind of laid there side by side, is I put a pillow here and I left the door open and I laid down and I put our faces kind of to where they were, you know, in line with each other, and then I closed my eyes and I did like some relaxation techniques to where I calmed myself and my breathing, and I talked to her while I was doing it, telling her what I was doing, and just tried to think nice, calm thoughts and be positive. And as I was doing it, I would open my eyes every now and then and look, and slowly but surely she laid down and closed her eyes, and that's what she's doing right now. When I did finally get up to go get some supplies for in here and came back, she's still laying down. So I really think that helped. But I really do feel like we've made some progress. She hasn't hissed at me at all since then. And when I came to get her plate out this morning, she was really hissing at me. But she hasn't done it since. Well, I had left the door open and Mama is not in there. Not the door to the room, but the door to the playpen. And let's go see where she is. Oh, there you are. What are you doing? Hi. She's over there in between the bed. See where that blue cover is? She's in there. She's like wedged herself in the covers, which is fine. But I will say the smell, you know, that I've been talking about that comes from the playpen is her. When I was pulling the cover up to see if she was underneath it, you get blasted in the face with it. So I don't know what it is. She doesn't look like she has anything on her, so I don't know if that's just what she smells like until she's been inside for a while or what. And it's not a skunky smell. It is more of a chemical smell. It's horrible though. I mean, she smells awful. But the thing is, her coat looks really pretty. She has a really, really shiny, thick black coat. So I don't know, but she smells terrible. While Mom is hiding, I am going to go ahead and weigh them and look them over. You know, just like yesterday, I'm not gonna hold them too much or anything like that, but just to get a feel. I'll tell you, the tuxedo one is really cool. She has white whiskers and white, look, hi, and white eyebrows. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. It's really cool. And they all have, none of them have like, I don't know, like smooth fur, I guess you would say. And I don't know if eventually it'll smooth out or what, but it's wiry. Like, do you remember how Bear had the little pieces of like silver on him, and they were like wiry, and the rest was like a smooth fur? All of these have at least some of that in different colors. It's very weird, but they're very pretty. Yeah, and like the tuxedo and the tortie have their eyes open. And then this black one kind of has his eyes open, but the other two don't. Or I haven't seen them open their eyes yet, so I don't know. But I'm going to weigh them now and put them back. And then leave, so if Mom needs to come in, she can. Guys, my heart is hurting. It really is. We had such a good day. I don't know what has happened, but I can't even put my hand in there without her like hissing and growling. And she did go pee in the litter box, and I believe she's pooped in the big litter box. She's peed in the little one and pooped in the big one. I'm gonna have to close her up though, which I hate doing because it's about 12:45 at night, and I was outside feeding my ferals for the last time, and it's later than normal, but there were dogs loose tonight, and the cats won't come eat when the neighbor's dogs get loose, so I have to feed them later. And I kept hearing this noise, and I thought it was the possums, but I came around and looked to be sure because I was going to run the possums off, and she was in this window, and see how like the blinds, and she had climbed somehow all the way. She was like attached to the wall all the way up there. I don't see any claw marks. Well, oh yeah, see, she's put holes here, I guess with her claws, but she's never done that before. Like normally if she gets out of there, she'll like sniff around for a minute and then hide. But you know, and Genji used to do the same thing. He used to like throw himself at windows, and you know, our back door, the French doors are glass, and he would throw himself at it. And that was one of the reasons we finally decided to let him be an indoor-outdoor cat, because he was just hurting himself. Like he cut his ear once. I mean, it was terrible. And I feel really bad because normally when I socialize a feral, we start outside, and it's up to them to come inside for the first time. I don't ever force them to come inside. But with her, you know, I didn't trap her. I didn't have anything to do with it. And for her kittens, especially if we want all 5 to survive, you really do need to bring them in. I mean, we all should by now know the statistics. You know, 1 out of every 2 don't survive outside to become, you know, full-grown cats. So I'm so conflicted, and I hate being, you know, a Debbie Downer. I like to keep these videos upbeat, but it really does tear at me whether or not this is the right thing to do, because she wants to be outside. She's scared to death. She doesn't know any different, and you know, we're forcing her to do something that's against her nature. And yes, it is to save her babies and hopefully to socialize her and save her life, but you know, who am I to say that's what I'm supposed, you know, you're supposed to do? I don't know. I struggle with this all the time, and I never say anything about it, but I really do struggle with it. I mean, you know, feeding them while they're outside and socializing them to bring them inside, and even sometimes, you know, getting them fixed and, you know, and still leaving them outside. Even sometimes I think that's better than forcing them to come in. But when there's kittens involved, it just takes on a whole nother light. So I don't know. And like I said, I'm sorry for ending this video in such a negative way, but it's my reality, and I want to document on my channel, you know, what it is. And at the end of day 4, after I thought we had made so much progress, I don't know.